win. Play for it, make the race, one comes always score. If it hurts, you ain't the race, we'll get you loaded up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win in. Press you again, we're here for the first minute. Can everybody keep it there for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Unbelievable place. Great university. Knoxville is unbelievable city, great people. The passion for football is even greater than I thought it would be. And man, Neyland Stadium, I said it, a couple of years ago, and I still think it's the best football experience for a college football fan or a player in the country.
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Yeah, the quarterback from Monmouth, I think it was small D2 school, I want to say. I'm not sure.
Virginia named Tony Muskett as their starting quarterback. How quickly do you dive into the tape, and what do you know about him?
Yeah, we're getting to it, and we had a chance to watch him, I believe, at Monmouth. I believe I'm saying that correctly.
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
Songs how like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken passes inundated or that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. Black and white headlights pierce, patrols, blazing arrows, burning me to the marrow. But fire brings peace as well as it brings fear. You're the only thing I hear, and I want that. The songs how like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken passes inundated or that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit smashed, broken in the sea when we wake up each cold morning and the birds sing their warning songs.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
I'm Coach Monmouth, Coach J. Sorry, Coach J.
It's your boy X Factor here.
Monmouth. Dude, I'm so sick and tired of people pretending they know who in the hell Monmouth is. It's so comical. Oh, he's pretty good. No, he's not. He's not pretty good. He's basically I don't think he could cut it at ETSU. Let's call a spade a spade. We're gonna have some fun tonight, boys. We're 3 days away? 3 days away from kickoff. It's right around the corner. I'm seeing people in the chat talking about it, saying this week is dragging on. We don't get many of them, man. Dauber, we count down to this time of year every single year. It gets here, and then it's gone, and then we look forward to the next one. Got to soak it in this year, man. Got to soak it in.
Absolutely, man. It's like a kid waiting until Christmas. Hey, you know how I know it's going to be a good show, Boogie?
How do you know it's going to be a good show?
We didn't even talk about how we were going to do the names, and we just nailed it.
Oh,
nailed it.
We're 1 for 1 on game week. 1 for 1 on game week. 100%. Batting 1,000. I don't know how long that's going to last, though. I don't know. We'll see. I think we finally got it figured out. Let's see who's hanging out in the chat. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what we got hanging out. Mike Jones is here. What's up, Mike? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Kelly Goodwin dropping a GBO. Adam Cook is here. Carson's in the house. What's up, Carson? Backwoods is here. Just scored my tickets to Austin P. Let's go, Boogie and friends. You're going to see a whole lot of Nico Backwoods, so enjoy that. Enjoy it. Spoiler alert for tomorrow's Locked On Vols. He A lot of times Eric asks me the same questions that I asked him on Monday. And I'm like, it's so hard for me to not just give the same answers he gave because it's the same conversation. But we were laughing. He's like, who's everybody going to be talking about around the water cooler on Sunday? Coach Jay, I told him Nico. That's who everybody's going to be talking about because we're going to beat the brakes off of Virginia, and Nico's going to play, and he's going to be the next Joe Montana.
Yeah, absolutely. Over under on Nico touchdowns for Saturday. 2. What do y'all got? Over under 2.
I'll
That's the
say.
line, 'cause I don't know.
I'm about to say. Look, I'll push it further, Coach. I'm gonna give him 3. I might say he might try to get
taking
3.
the over. There you
X
go.
is
There
taking
you
the
go.
over.
I'll take it. All right.
I don't know,
all right,
man.
I see you.
When do they pull Joe out of the game? Third quarter? You think third quarter?
After the third. If you're blowing him out, then third quarter, like late in the third quarter. If you're really railroading them, you know.
You're 4 touchdown favorites. I say you're up 4 touchdowns. It's the third quarter. Get Nico in there and let the kid go. We got a bunch of super chats right out of the gate. David Burgess saying he's been a member of this thing for 12 months. 12 months of support for the Talkin VAWLS network. We appreciate that, David. Pit Boss dropping a $5 door fee. Appreciate that, my man. I saw somebody in the chat saying exactly what is a door fee and a late fee and what happens if I don't pay it. You're banned from the channel forever. So get those entry fees in immediately. Volunteered 77 for 5. Love all the beautiful Talkin VAWLS family. And you too, Boogie. You too. Thanks for the disrespect. Volunteered. Let's see who else we got here. VFL Logan for 5. Appreciate that, brother. Door fee. I'm so ready for some football. What's the percentage of BVS are feeling right now, Boogie? I always get nervous before each game. My battered Vol syndrome is changing. Like, what do you think, God? What do you guys think about battered Vol syndrome? Because it's real, but mine is changing because it's go time. It's game week. So I've been saying 9-3. All of a sudden this week, I'm saying it freaking national championship, baby. Let's go. Undefeated. Why not?
I tell you, it's been a long time since I've been this excited and confident going into a season. You always get football because you've missed football, but to go into this season, you run through, man. You look at the schedule. You could be undefeated going into some of those big games, halfway through the season, and that's kind of the reality of where this team is, where this program is, and the trajectory that we have coming off of last season. Yeah, there's some questions that are unanswered, some things that we hope we work out this Saturday and then against Austin P. Offensive line. That's a big one to me. Are we going to see Mays? I don't know. If not, how healthy is he? When will we see him? And then can the other guys, they've been practicing a lot of rotation on that front line. I think for Joe Milton to have success, that offensive line has to be playing well.
Dude, is some Alex Jones conspiracy theory stuff going on. You get on the message boards, people are saying he may miss half the season. Other people are saying he would be fine for the opener, but they're going to keep him out until the Florida game. I just wonder if it's true, if it's a sports hernia, what's that, 4 to 6 weeks recovery time on that?
Yeah, depends on the grade of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never know. And the way Tillman kept being out another week and then another week and then another week. And I mean, kudos to Hype in the staff last year for doing that because they did it to everyone, right? Everyone was always wondering why, and you're never going to truly know. I mean, they're certainly not going to go blab it to media if he is out for an extended time. But just to tag on to what Dauber was saying, yeah, that center position, I think we'll all have our eyes on it. How does the communication look, from sideline to center, the offense look in general with a new center? And a new quarterback for that matter, and a new offensive coordinator. I know they're all within system, and I know we're ultra confident in Halsey and everyone for that matter, Joe, and even the backup center. But just how does that look? How smooth does it look? And yeah, man. But I'm excited, and I expect to see a defense that's flying around on Saturday. I expect it to be vanilla, but I want to see them flying around. I want to see 11 hats on the ball. I want to see good tackling, and I want to see a rush out of 4 down linemen.
I'll throw this out there instead of the Nico touchdowns. What do you think the turnover battle is?
Ooh, I
Tennessee
think
better
we,
win it. They better win it.
I think
we
that's
get them.
that's a big key to the success of this team is winning the turnover battle.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. And
Well,
we've had a lot of success without having it. Go ahead, X.
Oh, I was just going to add on to what Dauber was saying to say, yeah, because I said it in the previous streams before. I want to see the defense make positive plays because last season we didn't really get to see much of that. Yeah, we saw little sprinkles of it here, like in the Florida game, with Jeremy Banks, what I'm saying, with the fumble recovery. Saw a little bit.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, but this year I want to see just a continuous dominant performance by the defense, and then that will kind of cure a little bit of my batter ball syndrome to know that okay, like what they said in the interviews is real. We do have depth, we do have a team, so let's go out there and let's show it on the field.
Let me catch up on Super Chats here. We got a bunch of Super Chats coming in. We appreciate the support from you guys. And then I want to come back to injuries, and then we're going to jump into Virginia. We'll kind of bounce around here a little bit. Mike Jones for 10. That's a very generous Super Chat. We appreciate that, brother. I saw he put in the chat. He said that is a door fee. Thank you for that door fee, Mike. We appreciate it. Papa J for 10. Door fee paid and a little extra. Let's go, Big Orange. I still think I've got about 243 people to ban, and then we'll have a show for the 11 of you that paid the entry fee. So let me get that sorted. We'll ban everybody, and then we'll actually start the show. But thank you, Papa J. Elias, is that how you say that? Elias Gray becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. I'm on that membership drive. Got to get those memberships in. Look, we're going to do a tailgate show on Saturday, an hour before kickoff. Only the members of the channel get an opportunity to come in. The more come in, whatever you want to call it. The more you give, the quicker you get the link. I saw that somebody in the chat said they just became Boogie's boss. X, do you know what you get if you join the channel at the tier Boogie's boss? Do you know what you get?
What you get?
Absolutely nothing. You just get the title Boogie's boss, and you get to tell me what to do. That's it. But hey, you also get the link quick for the fan call-in shows. Thomas Maynard drops a $5 super chat. Game starts at 11 my time. I'm firing up my grill at 10 and shotgunning a beer. Go Vols. I love it, Thomas. I am here for it. Let's see. We got Dalton Beeson for $5. Safe travels when you go to the game, Coach Jay. Hope you're having a good day, Boogie. Much love, brother. Well, thank you for that super chat, Dalton. We appreciate that, brother. We got Rocky Top Tom for $5. Door, when we go up 35-3 or so, railroading him like Jay said. Pool Joe, want to see all of our backup quarterbacks and tailbacks thought. Yeah, you look, I think they're going to start early. I don't think they're going to wait till they're up 4 touchdowns to start playing some of the young guys. I think you're going to see a lot of guys rotate on the offensive side of the ball, the wide receivers, also in the running back room. I think defensively, obviously on the defensive line, you're going to see a ton of guys. I think we may see some of those young guys in the secondary as well. So, Tom, I fully expect to see everybody get out on the field. Glorified scrimmage coming up on Saturday. Knoxville Predator catcher for 10. Did you hear about the Toyota driver that went to the hospital? He's in a Tacoma. Knoxville Predator catcher was telling dad jokes all night last night on the NCAA stream, and I'm here for it. Thank you, Knoxville Predator catcher. James Lawson drops the door fee, $5. Appreciate that, brother. And we also got one more from Dalton Beeson for 2. Also starting the campaign, Keaton for Bolitnikoff. I can get on board with that. It's going to be either Thornton or Squirrel White, in my personal opinion, if you're going to have a Bolitnikoff award winner on this football team. We got 205 people watching live, guys. Smash the thumbs up. Share out the link. Right before we hit go, we have 4 subscribers away. We were 4 subscribers away from 22,000. So let's hit it this stream. Share out this link. Let people know we're live. I wanted to put this up on the screen. I had no intentions of doing this till we started talking about Cooper Mays. And then, Coach Jay mentioned Cedric Tillman last year, always going to be ready to go the next week. Big Ten institutes player availability injury reports for all teams during the 2023 football season. You go down and it says they announced this on Thursday. Each member institution is responsible for submitting their injury reports at least 2 hours before their respective kickoff times. They also revealed that it is partnering with the U.S. Integrity to enhance monitoring efforts and provide additional educational resources to help prevent student athletes, coaches, and staff from engaging in prohibited sports wagering. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think, well, look at that ad. That's convenient timing. What do you think, Dauber? Do you think they should, I could see this going across all of NCAA football where it's going to be an actual injury report. And it's all based on gambling. I really think that's what it's all based on.
I mean, why don't you worry about stuff that matters? Like, getting kids eligible when they put in transfer requests and, all these other things that the NCAA drags their feet on. I mean, that's a bunch of malarkey.
And I'll also add this too. I mean, what are you going to do about faking injuries? Do you notice they don't say nothing about that? Nothing at all.
Yeah, no, it's all stupid to me. Let's just get out there and play football. Like we don't got to sit here willy nilly.
That's part of the gamemanship. A coach, withholding, the extent of a guy's injury. You don't know until kickoff. He comes out there and he's in his warm ups, but is he going to play? I mean, come on.
I thought it was hilarious. I was listening. VolQuest was having this same conversation earlier in the week, and Brent Hubbs was like, so what happens now? You got a 2-hour window. So are you going to send a guy that's injured? You're going to send
him in
Cooper
bubble
Mays?
wrap?
Cooper Mays is going to be in his pads out there pretending to warm up, and then he's going to go put street clothes on because that report comes out 2 hours ahead of kickoff. It's like, when is enough? But I think it's funny because, we were talking about it Monday, and Eric Kane's sitting there trying to tell me, he's like, we'll see what Heupel has to say about Cooper Mays. I'm like, will we? Like, will we really? He's not going to say anything about Cooper Mays. And then the depth chart comes out and shows Cooper starting. No, that's not happening. We got a $10 super chat from Joseph Harris for 10. Thank you for that door fee. Let's go Vols. Appreciate that, Joseph. Thank you for the donation. Sammy P for 5. Coach J, if it's total TDs, I'll take 2. 1 passing, 1 running. See, they're not following the drill, though. It's an over-under. That's when you know you nailed it, Coach, is when everybody's saying, oh, yeah, 2. I'm going with 2. No kidding. That's why it's an over-under. You can't go with 2. You got to go with 1 or above 2. You got to go 3. Shout out, Sammy P. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Knoxville Predator catcher for another 5. You want to see Joe be more physical in the run game or play it safe? Built like a tank, could definitely truck some people. I think you'll see that. I think you'll see some quarterback power. I think you'll see some speed option. It's the elusiveness that he doesn't really have. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's I've said it before. This offense is keyed up and designed for Joe Milton. And I think that's one of his strengths, is going to be that kind of quarterback power. Man, it keeps that defense honest, even though he's not going to be like Hooker and be able to necessarily extend a play in the pocket and do all that. He can get after it and hopefully we see him lower that shoulder and run through some people instead of stepping out of play on the sideline. But all in all, you want him to be safe and healthy. So I think that's going to be a big key to calling the game for Joe Milton, though, is some of those designed quarterback runs.
But how much do you think? Sorry, X, depends on how much they utilize Joe in the run game versus how ready Nico is right now. The more ready Nico is, I think the more you get Joe involved in the run game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah. And I think, I think early in the game you run them a bit, to get, clear some cobwebs out, get used to the hit. And then I think you do it a little bit just so Florida's got to take a look at it and prepare for it a little bit. And then you kind of pack that in and let them hand the ball off and throw it the rest of the time out and play it safe kind of the rest of the way out.
The best way I was going to sum it up earlier is just, look, Joe just needs to be Joe.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just the best way to sum it up. I mean, like I said, you don't have to be a Hendon Hooker, you know what I'm saying? But just play to your style, play your game, and then all the pieces will fall into place.
I think he's already fed up with being compared to Hendon Hooker. I mean, you saw that in the dude. Did you the press conference where the little brother comments? I think it was Rocky Top Insider somewhere. I was trying to get that clip. They cut it out, like they edited it out. I know it's still on VolQuest, their video of it, but yeah, he does not. I think he's sick of it, man, because he is Joe, and that's all he needs to be is Joe. Knoxville Predator catcher for another 5. Wait, that's the one we just read. Sorry about that. Joe Brown for 2. Late, but here's the door fee. Cannot wait. LFG GBO. Thank you, Joe, for the $2. Appreciate that, brother. I'm going to keep saying this wrong. Is it? I'm guessing Elias. Let's walk with Elias. Elias Gray for 5. Really interested in seeing Jalen Wright after all the offseason hype. Led this team in rushing a year ago, so I'm excited about Jalen Wright. Ralph Keith coming in, dropping the big one. Drops the 50 spot. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
And why not? I'll throw this in there too.
Rocky Top!
That never gets old.
Priceless.
Man, it's almost like I want to do that if somebody drops a hundo.
But hold on.
But-
My only problem is with him. We all know how he is. He's gonna call us against Vanderbilt towards the end of the season.
I don't care. I still love Pat McAfee. I think he is
I mean,
so
I love
entertaining.
him.
He's
I
so
love him.
entertaining.
He's kind
Ralph
of like Lane
Keith,
Kiffin.
$50 super chat. That's insane, my man. That is not cheap. That is very generous. We appreciate that support, brother. Everybody dropping those door fees. Ralph says, hold my beer. Here's a 50 spot. All right, let's jump into it. Let's talk a little Tennessee, Virginia coming up on Saturday at noon. Don't forget, we'll be live an hour before doing the tailgate show, fan call-in show. You guys get to come on, hang out, and then we will be live immediately following the game. So come hang out with us. Tennessee, 28-point favorite. The ESPN FPI is all the way up to 87.4% for Tennessee. Virginia coming off a 3-7 season last year, 1-6 in conference play. We all know the story, the tragic ending to their season. The 3 players getting shot and killed. And, that's going to be something we talked about it earlier this week a little bit. It's going to be something that is on everybody's minds. It's going to be the story going in. And, man, you got to feel for these kids. And that's something that they're going to have to deal with. They still have to go out and play football, but that's something they have to deal with. Head coach Tony Elliott, year 2, former Clemson offensive coordinator. They scored 17 points a game a year ago, gave up 24 points a game. Dauber, what are you looking for in this game coming up on Saturday? Just something, first thing that comes to your mind when you're thinking about Tennessee and Virginia.
I think the easy answer is a clean game. You want the offense to come out, play clean. You want the defense, rallying to the ball, not being out of position. The secondary, especially, not getting lost in coverages. Just few penalties, no turnovers, just easy stuff like that. Coming in out of, your fall camp, you want to be clean going in that first game. There's going to be things that you can improve on week 1 to week 2, but you want to be as crisp as you can. Get those opening game jitters out. And for me, X said it earlier. Let Joe be Joe. That's the best thing for him. Yeah, I agree. You want to see him out there dancing, having a good time, throwing it 60 yards on a rope to a wide open squirrel white, and then, whatever the new dance is,
But what happens? What happens, though, because we've seen that, Joe, right? We're seeing that all fall camp. What happens when things don't go our way? That's the only thing that I ask about a guy that likes to be loose, likes to kind of goof off, whereas Hendon was a little bit more serious. And look,
right,
you got to be who you are, right? If that's the way Joe is, that's the way Joe is. But what happens when adversity hits? Are you still out there dancing and loose, or do you get a little tense and all of a sudden you're not this same dude we've been out there with?
Yeah, and that's a big question. That's one of those unknown factors, because Joe's the man right now, and that's what it is. I think you've seen him relax through spring camp and fall camp, and he does know it's his team. We saw last week the tweet of that he gifted beats to everybody on the team and wrote that little note. I think he's taken over. It is his team. And he's being a leader. And, we've heard from a lot of the guys on the team talking about, you think Hendon was a leader last year. Well, who was right behind Hendon and right there as well, even as QB2, Milton was a leader last year. And I think he's just grown and progressed that much more. So you hope that all those things that you've seen in the offseason, you hope they translate and are as much of a factor during the season, and he is able to take the reins of this team. And, there's no slippage from where this offense was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I think we all want an extremely clean game, good communication, good execution, proper alignment. No penalties, of course. I know Dauber said it, but I'll just keep harping on it, especially with the new center, right? Like you got to have a clean game, no penalties. If we do, God forbid, got to play in the swamp without Coop, you want to feel like you're not going to have all those false start penalties. So that's big. But besides that, as far as Joe goes, I want to see him go have fun out there, right, and be himself. And hey, man, the guy's got a lot of shiny toys out there to play with, right? Whether it be, shoot, man, Jalen Wright, Cam Selden, Squirrel White, Brew McCoy tanking people on the outside, Thornton, Ramel Keaton. I mean, we could just sit here all day and name all the weapons he has. So I'd like to see him spread the ball around and start using all those weapons and keep defensive coordinators up late at night trying to figure out how to stop them all.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, but the major key point is like saying that offensive line, though. I think that's really, as far as like batter ball syndrome for me too, is like saying it's just that offensive line. How's this offensive line going to protect Joe in order for him, like you said, Coach, to develop these plays to like Ramel Keaton, Squirrel White, Dante Thornton, and to those other guys, So that's going to be kind of a major key thing to watch for, this coming Saturday. And then too, yeah, you also hope that Cooper Mays is back towards the Florida game, which as a fact too, tomorrow they play Utah. So I'm definitely going to be watching that game just to kind of get a little sneak peek of how Florida's going to be this year, and that will kind of give me a look ahead to be like, okay, so this is what Florida's looking like this year. Maybe we might have a better chance. So, but overall, like saying, yeah, just want to, like saying, play clean, less penalties. Like I said, Joe just needs to be Joe, and this team just needs to just go out and just have fun. Just go out, have fun, make a bold, strong statement, just like you did last season, but just remind everybody this coming season that you are possibly still this 11-2 team, hell, maybe even a possible national championship team. So just go out there, have fun, and just play football, play Tennessee football.
I want to give a shout out to Elias Gray in the chat. Just gifted 10 Talkin VAWLS memberships to some people in the chat. I think StreamYard will get it fixed because they fixed the member chats. They have their finger on the pulse, but right now I didn't see that, but I see you guys going nuts in the chat. So shout out to Elias Gray for that. That is very generous. We appreciate that. Let me hit a couple of super chats. I want to come back and talk about this offensive line. Thomas Maynard for 5 says, do 2 5s count for the 1 Dorfy? LOL. It's a good thing you did that because I was about to ban you from the channel, but yes, we'll allow it. Thank you for that. Alpacane 10 for 5. That's a Dorfy. We appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. VFL Logan for 5. I look for the announcers to be bored 2 tiers, points, and more points. I hope you are right. I hope it's like, was it the Pitt game last year where the commentary team got busted after they went off air and they were like, oh man, it was such a good storyline and Tennessee ruined it. It's like, hang on a second, bro. What are you saying here? Because that was just caught.
Do you think we'll get updated on Klubnik's parents since Virginia's got that ACC connection?
Hopefully so. Hopefully that's all we hear about the entire game is Klubnik. Okay. Shannon to Cannon. What a great, that's an epic name. That is an epic name. Is that you, Joe? Is that you, Joe? Is that who that is? Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate that support, you guys. You got the custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, all that fun stuff. If you're not a member, what are you waiting on? Hit that join button. It's $1. If you like the channel, you like the content, you like the videos, hit that join button. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about this offensive line going into this football game. We've talked it to death. Cooper Mays being out. You're talking about left guard and Andrej Karic and how we're concerned with that. And even this coaching staff coming out of the spring, they go into the portal, they're trying to get a guard. Doesn't happen. Now you're leaning on Andrej Karic. Then you're thinking, okay, Ollie Lane's going to play guard. He's going to beat out Andrej Karic. Then Cooper goes down. You're shuffling guys around. What does John Campbell look like? The fact that John Campbell's never played a down in the SEC, the fact that John Campbell is new to this offense, he's brand new to this offense. How much does he grasp it? They're going to be tested. They are going to be tested on Saturday because the front 7 for Virginia is pretty good. It's probably the strength of their team. They're returning 6 of those 7 guys. However, their best player on defense, Chico Bennett, led the team in sacks a year ago, had 7 sacks. He is out. He is officially out for this game. Had a non-contact knee injury. Has not been putting any weight on it. I didn't expect him to play. It has been confirmed he will not play. But, Coach, don't you think this is a good test to see what this offensive line has? Because you mentioned earlier, if Cooper's not back for Florida, that's when we start to get concerned. But this is going to be a test. We're going to know what this offensive line looks like coming out of this game. And I'm not saying Virginia's going to go beat Tennessee, but we're going to have an idea what our offensive line looks like.
Yeah, and I'm trying to recall the guy's name. I want to say it's like Aaron Famuji or something like that is one of their defensive tackles. The kid's got a real nice low center of gravity, a real nice punch, gets off the ball really well. So I do think that our guards will get tested a little bit by that kid. He's a player. The kid's got some chops. So and Virginia trusts their defensive line. I think even without Bennett, I mean, they didn't bring. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't think you're
I'm
going to be able to
butcher the
pronounce
last
it.
name. No wonder I didn't remember it, right?
He's got a
Yeah,
last name too, but we can't pronounce it.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, thank you, Boogie. Good assist. But yeah, so like you see, yeah, 6'2", 302, that low center of gravity I was talking about there. It's just such a valuable tool when you got that low center of gravity and you're heavy. Jesse Mahalona kind of is who that kid reminds me of a little bit. Got a nice punch, nice low center of gravity, swims through the guard well. So I think he'll test our guards a bit. So that's going to be a nice test. Virginia tends to trust their defensive line to get a rush organically without having to bring that spur or devil bandit back or whatever you want to call them. They'll trust that front to get a kind of natural rush. So we should be able to handle it. As far as Campbell goes, of all the film I've seen of Campbell, man, the kid looked like a beast blocking for the run at Miami, like an absolute beast, but then was off at times against pass pro. And then at times he was great in it, but when he looked bad in it, he looked really bad. So hopefully Coach Eck has gotten that fixed for Campbell over there at tackle.
Somewhere I think Tennessee is going to be able to attack the Virginia defense is in the secondary. And again, a year ago, they gave up 24 points a game, 357 yards per game. 153 of those were on the ground, 204 through the air, kind of middle in the pack across the board. 30th in pass defense, 44th in rushing defense, 49th overall in yards per game. But if you look at their secondary, they're kind of thin at the corner position. And you can see there on the depth chart there, Cohen King penciled in to start at left corner. And then at right corner, they've got the old Josh Heupel effect, Sam Westfall, or Malcolm Green. So they've got, some uncertainty there in the secondary. And I'm gonna throw a question to Coach here in just a minute. But Dauber, I think, and again, you still got to protect Joe. But what is Virginia going to do? Are they going to stack the box or are they going to lay back? I think there's going to be some mismatch opportunities in the secondary with the experience, man. And I know the national narrative of Jalen Hyatt's gone. I'm so sick of people saying Cedric Tillman. He was out half the year. Like, what do you mean we have to be concerned that Cedric Tillman's gone? I'm talking about Brew McCoy. I'm talking about Ramel Keaton. I'm talking about Squirrel White, Dante Thornton. Dauber, I think we can expose the secondary a little bit.
100%. That's the thing about this offensive side of the ball. There are so many weapons. It's pick your poison. And it's all going to go back to Joe Milton, though. Is he accurate? Is he throwing the ball well? Because if so, that'll set up the run. Vice versa. If Small, Wright, Selden, whoever's in the backfield, if they're hitting the holes and clipping off 4, 5, 6 yards a carry, then that's going to open it up for Joe as well. I think they start the game with some easy stuff to get Joe going. Honestly, I think that's going to be the game plan. I don't know that you immediately go up top and try to get the home run. I think you work him into the game, get him in rhythm, and because I mean, listen, if this is a track meet, there's no way Virginia is hanging with Tennessee in this. So I think that offensively it's pick your poison. I don't know what Virginia can do, and that's the thing that I think is going to keep a lot of opponents' defensive coordinators up at night is, what do I do? Who do I try to stop? Because it very well could be week to week. You don't know who's going to pop off and have a big game.
Yeah, I totally agree too. And then, like you said, Dauber, I feel like I said, it's going to be kind of vanilla on offense too, because I know earlier we were talking about like a vanilla defense. I feel like that this offense is going to be just a little vanilla too. I mean, they're still going to go out and perform a show for us, but I feel like that, they're probably going to throw, like saying, to the outsides, maybe like Brew, maybe squirrel a little bit just to kind of, gain about 5 yards, get a few first downs here and there. And then definitely going to open up the run game, kind of get the running backs in rhythm and too. And then eventually, you kind of wear the defense down on Virginia side a little bit. And then just, you hit them with the Joe Milton special, just, throw it deep and then touchdown. So, but yeah, I think we're going to see mostly vanilla offense and a little vanilla defense. But overall, it's like what I said earlier. I mean, these boys just need to go out, just have fun, man. Just go out, have fun, just be dominant.
Let me get caught up on super chats here. We got a new member of the channel. Perry Dempsey becomes a member. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for that support on that membership drive. Keep them coming, boys. Hit that join button. $1. You want to give a little bit more. Here's the deal. If you don't want to be on the fan call-in show, just give $1. We would greatly appreciate it. You want to be on the fan call-in show, I recommend Talkin VAWLS Elite. Typically, we start with Talkin VAWLS Elite and higher, and then we kind of go from there. But we appreciate it whether you give $1, whether you give $10, or whether you just hit that like button down below, because that is quick, free, and easy. Shannon DeCannon. I love that name, man. $2 super sticker. Appreciate that, Shannon. Also, Wayne drops a $5 super chat. Says, I want to see the Vols dominate Virginia on both sides of the ball, score every possession, and 3 and out on defense for the entire first half. Go Vols. Wayne wants perfection. I'm here for it, Wayne. I'm here for it. Let's get a little perfection. Wait, did Perry Dempsey just upgrade? Perry joined the channel, and I was like, that's not good enough. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my membership. We appreciate that, Perry. Also, Thomas Maynor becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support. Trey Thomas for $5. DL lives in the backfield this game. I hope so. We're going to talk about Tennessee's defense coming up here in just a second. Shannon DeCannon is back again with a $50 super sticker. That $50 super sticker, it looks like a Nintendo controller practicing kung fu, knocking people out. I'm here for it. I love it. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
You know it's football season because y'all are going nuts with the donations and the super chats, and we appreciate it. You guys are what keep the lights on around here. It ain't ad revenue. I can assure you it is not ad revenue on YouTube. It is you guys. That is a very generous super chat. We appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and make it official now. From now on, a $100 super chat gets the Pat McAfee. That's what it's going to be. You're going to get the Pat treatment if you drop a $100 super chat. $1 Million Man on the $50 super chat. That's how we're going to roll from now on. Baker Reynolds also drops a $50 super chat. Y'all have lost your mind. I'm here for it. We'll play the clip again. Why not? I'll play it all night long.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Appreciate that, Baker. God, y'all are nuts, man. Very, very generous. And then that's not enough. He comes back with another 20. Says, been following for around a year. You may need to remove. We're not experts from your intro. You're absolutely killing it, my man. Keep up the good work. Everyone, I'll be there Saturday to watch the beatdown. Appreciate that. But we're not experts. I mean, Coach, I feel like I always have to validate Coach. I'm like, we're not experts. We're not insiders except for Coach. He knows a little bit more about football than we do. I think I've told Coach this before. I know I've said it before. When you first came around, I was like, all right. By the way, shout out Baker, $70 back-to-back super chats. We appreciate it.
That's awesome.
I'm like, who is this dude? And why is Coach? I'm like, why is Coach in his name? Like, I was a little hesitant at first, and then I was like, oh wait, well, okay, he really knows football. Like, and then we just vibed, and we had and then you became a part of the channel. I'm here for it. I love it. You're a huge asset to the team. But shout out Baker. Appreciate those super chats. Very generous, my man. Y'all are freaking going nuts. And speaking of Coach and his expertise. Going to the Tennessee or the Virginia defense. Sticking with the Virginia defense here. What are we laughing at? Is there something in the chat? What are they
laughing at Kevin bringing the heat right there?
Yes, a McAfee. Yeah, you gotta pay the Pat McAfee if you want that Rocky Top. All right, let's talk about this Virginia defense because I think it is the strength. We've talked about the front seven. We've talked about the corners. They do have a little bit of experience at the safety position. Jonas Sanker led the team, or second on the team in tackles a year ago, 63 tackles. If you're Virginia's defensive coordinator, you got promoted. They brought you up to the big leagues. Is Virginia the big leagues? You're the defensive coordinator. How do you attack Tennessee? Because I was having this conversation with Eric Kane. Again, it'll air tomorrow on Locked On Vols. Make sure you go check out Kaner. Locked On Vols. Make it your first listen, then come hang out with Talkin Vols. But we were talking about how does Virginia approach this? What would you do? Would you sit back and put everybody back in coverage and let Tennessee dink and dunk you. And if that's the case, how patient is Joey Halsley? How patient is Josh Heupel, Joe Milton? Or would you just say, screw it? Almost my mentality last year. Let's play man coverage. I'm going to bring the house. And if you beat us, you just beat us. It is what it is.
Me personally, I think I would try to come out in base and play vanilla myself and see if I could generate a rush with my front four. But I also wouldn't give away the GOAT as far as my season goes on Tennessee, right? Like, I've still got to go in conference. You always play to win. I'm not saying you don't try to play to win, but sometimes you got to pick your battles correctly, right? If you defend everything, you defend nothing. So you can't throw a perfect game plan out there against every single team. I think if I'm Virginia, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to play my style of defense the best way we know how to play our style of defense and let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to rip out, my all-time game plan for a game that's out of conference on neutral
season
field.
opener. Yeah.
Season opener, neutral field. First time in the spot. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play base, put some of my defense's resume on film, and then get better based off of it is what I'm going to do. And try to have a lot of fun doing it, try to play with a lot of passion, a lot of aggression, and a lot of enthusiasm, and tell my guys, hey, man, stop them, slow this offensive down. You get that offensive line second guessing themselves. You get a Joe Milton second guessing himself, and you never know what we could walk ourselves into. And then if you can keep it close into the half, then maybe you could kind of dial something up in the second half and have a little something for them. But that's just me. If I were Virginia, I'm not going to go out there either and like try to bracket their receivers on the outside and do any of this fancy Georgia stuff. I realize I don't, I got mammoth quarterbacks named Musket. I don't have, Brock Bowers on my team and Jalen Carter and such.
Virginia named Tony Muskett as their starting quarterback. How quickly do you dive into the tape, and what do you know about him?
Yeah, we're getting to it, and we had a chance to watch him, I believe, at Monmouth. I believe I'm saying that correctly.
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
What a perfect name though for a quarterback on Virginia Cavaliers, right? Like Musket, just an awesome last name for a quarterback at Virginia.
Well, let's change gears. We've been talking about Tennessee's offense and Virginia's defense. Let's change gears. Talk about Virginia's offense. They could have had a 3-year starter returning in Brennan Armstrong, but to tell you just how bad Virginia is, he's like, no, I'm out of here. I'm going to NC State where I can actually maybe play some football. Brennan Armstrong transfers out again. He 3-year starter, and he's out the door. And he also led this team in rushing, Dauber. So when we talk about how bad this football team is, they struggle to run the football as well. Last year, 102nd in rushing yards per game at 123.1. I think Tennessee under Rodney Garner has shown a pretty good strength to stop the run game. But Tony Muskett, 5,600 passing yards, 51 touchdowns in 23 starts at the legendary Monmouth University, 2-time Big South Player of the Year. He's got some experience, but he's never done it at the big stage, and it's going to be on the big stage on Saturday. What do you want to see from Tennessee's defense against what should be a really bad Virginia offense? Not just a quarterback that transferred from, an elementary school to come play at Virginia, but also, they're replacing 4 offensive linemen. They're replacing also their top 4 wide receivers. 2 of their starters had a combined 8 catches. Their outside wide receivers had a combined 8 catches last year. Cedric Tillman had 8 catches. We saw what he did. What do you think, though?
Listen, it's not being played in Neyland. We're down the road in Nashville. We've seen what that stadium will turn into when the Vols roll into Nashville. I think Tony Muskett is going to have his hands full. I think it's going to be loud, and I think this defense is going to be bringing it. one of the things I said going into the season, this defensive line, I think is going to be, they're going to be some real dudes that are bringing some heat and getting home to the quarterback, which allows your linebackers to play a little bit more free, drop in the coverage to help that secondary. Although the secondary, I don't think is going to be as much of a problem because all those dudes have been around, and if they're not getting it done, there are guys behind them that I think may be even better. So, defensively, I think this team is going to take a big step forward, and I think Saturday is just the first kind of dose of that. We're going to see. I think the defensive line. I think they're going to get some pressure. I think they're going to be all up in the backfield. You said it, Boogie. Virginia was pretty abysmal offensively last year. I don't even 14, 17 points, I think is what they averaged.
17. Yep.
So it's going to be one of those things. Like I said, I don't think Virginia can offensively keep up with Tennessee. And I don't think the defense is even going to give Virginia's offense a chance to, they'll be in the blocks sitting and Tennessee's already running down the track. It's going to be one of those things.
The way I see it, like I said, I think Mr. Muskett's going to get a good taste of some SEC defensive, big body. He's going to get hit. Let's just say that. He's going to be feeling it. Just like, last season, when we played against Pitt and, and that quarterback, I would say he was taking some hits, but then after like that fourth, fifth time, he kept getting up and he was just like, Coach, like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want any more. So yeah, I think Mr. Muskett's he's definitely going to feel some of that from our defensive line. But yeah, everything what Dauber just said. Yeah, I feel like that Virginia's offense sure as hell can't keep up with our offense.
Right.
As far as like defensive wise, I mean, we might see them maybe stop us a few times. I mean, I don't expect I'm not saying like Joe's gonna be intercepted or anything like that. I mean, God forbid, I hope not. But no, I don't think, like I said, the defense might be okay at best, but I don't think it's enough to stop Tennessee. So
we're talking about getting after the quarterback. Who's going to get after the quarterback? When you look at this defensive line, you got some upperclassmen, Tyler Barron, Roman Harrison, and they're penciled in as the starters on the depth chart. Can Roman Harrison be a Byron Young this year, Coach? We love the young guys, right? We gush over the young guys. The name that comes out of our mouth all the time: Joshua Josephs, James Pierce, Tyree West. Meanwhile, we got two seniors. It's a money year. It's a money year. You want to continue to play football, or do you want to go work a real job? What do you want to do? Because it's all on the line this year. What do you think we get out of this defensive line? And I'm talking about the edge position, but we can talk about Omari Thomas. We can talk about Omar Norman Lott. Who's going to get after the quarterback, Coach?
Yeah, hopefully all of them, right? Hopefully by committee, right? But Roman Harrison, he's a good kid. It seems like Roman's always been just a split second too late, right? Just no matter what it's been, he's always been a split second too late. Like he hits the quarterback, but the ball got out, and it's complete, or he rips the running back, but the quarterback kept it at the last second. He just always seems to be a second late. Tyler Barron, he had a great Orange Bowl. Can he build off of that Orange Bowl performance? I'm anxious to see. The kid's got a lot of tools. I know he's dealt with some injuries. I'm anxious to see. I've kind of made the prediction that they're going to slide him inside on those obvious passing downs along with Lott. I think that gives you great speed on the inside and allows you to kind of either use Harrison and Pierce or Harrison and Josephs or some kind of combination of that. So, but going back to Lott though, real quick, I think we're going to see out a lot what Rodney Gardner sees out of Lott in this game. I think he could end up being a surprise performer in this game. Coach Gardner has talked so much about his technique, his skill, and his speed, and all of his tools in the tool bag. So I think, finally with some dudes around him like he didn't have coming out of Arizona, we'll start to see some of that show itself a little bit more out of this defense line. And I think Omari Thomas is going to be a stud, and he kind of always has been. So I think he's going to do what he do. But I'm excited, man, whether it's West, anyone, Dominic Bailey, whoever you want to say, I'm excited about this D-line and front seven in general. Go ahead, Dauber. Yeah.
I was going to say, I know we dropped some young guys' names on the offensive side of the ball. You think we see Arian Carter?
I think you're going to – I 100% think you're going to see him. And I think it's going to be the type of game, too, especially if we jump up. I think it's going to be the type of game where you see the other line. Who was his oar? Was it Caleb Perry? Was his oar?
I don't think Caleb Perry's going to. I think your two deep's going to be Arian Carter and Elijah Herring.
Yeah, but I still think since Perry's was listed as the oar, you could see Arian and him switch off a series just so the fans can see, like, hey, you this dude's going to be on the field, like, opening in shut case, or maybe they just feel like they don't even owe him that, and you just see him right away. But the kid's going to be a factor. You've heard, everyone in here has heard me yap about it all off season. I think he's going to be extremely hard to keep off the field, and he's going to be a problem.
I would say it is Caleb Perry. Let's see here. Yep. Yeah. They listed Aaron Beasley as the starter, and then it's Caleb Perry or Arian Carter. How dumb is that? Like, it's Aaron, like, Arian Carter. Like, come on. Arian Carter's not just playing against Virginia. He's going to be playing against Florida. He's going to be playing against Georgia. They're going to rotate 4 dudes, and he's going to be playing. He's going to play valuable in-game reps. Like, he's that dude. But Dauber, when we were talking about the secondary, Dauber mentioned, the young guys pushing, and that's the beautiful thing about having true legitimate depth. We talk a lot about this defensive line and, Joshua Josephs, who Wayne mentioned in the chat. He thinks he's going to be the one that ultimately is in the game when the game's on the line. I don't disagree with that. I mean, the kid played some big time football last year as a true freshman, but also in the secondary. I mean, your depth chart, let me go back to the actual official depth chart. Your depth chart shows Kamal Hadden or Warren Burrell, Danico Slaughter or Gabe Judy Lolly. I fully expect Kamal Hadden and Danico Slaughter to be your starters out there. They've pushed Warren Burrell out of the picture at corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say those are your seniors. I mean, they have to perform,
Yeah.
So I just hope that they just perform, and then also too, like, even know that, like you just said, but even the young guys coming up, hopefully that they'll know it's like, hey, if you don't perform, you got a young guy right behind you getting ready to take your spot. So hopefully, like saying that that's kind of not really super intimidating, but they just know in the back of their mind, they're like, okay, I better perform this season, because if I don't, then I'm going to get bounced around. So
yeah.
Let me get caught up on super chats real quick. Guys, we're almost an hour into this thing. I told these dudes we're doing an hour tonight. We're going to do an hour. We're going to call it a show. I said we're going to open up talking about Virginia. We're going to listen to Josh Heupel's press conference, and then we'll do our predictions. We're an hour in. We've still got that press conference. What say you? You guys drive the show. Money rules the world. Money isn't everything, right? It's the only thing. So you guys have been very generous with your super chats. You want us to keep rolling? We'll keep rolling. But let me catch up on those super chats. Andrew in for $10. Appreciate that. Excited to see the new linebacker squad in action. Finally, a little depth, and without some of the drama Banks brought in with him. Excited to see them as a cohesive unit. GBO, not just Banks, but also Juwan Mitchell. That kid just transferred again for the 17th time. I mean, that kid, it's so disappointing because he's got so much talent, and it's just wasted, just absolutely wasted. And the stuff that Brian Jean-Marie has put up with as a linebacker coach, I think I guarantee you he's just looking at Keenan Peely and saying, this is the dude that I needed here. A guy that's a veteran, a guy that's mature, a guy that has his head on his shoulders. This linebacker unit is legit, man. I think we may see some Jeremiah Thielander on Saturday. I know Coach was very high on him in the film breakdowns. Sounds like this coaching staff is very high on him. He's had a good fall camp. We'll see if he gets out there. Negaval for 2. Thank you for the super chat. Number 1 goal, 2023. We've got to get our cleats in the ground. I mean, yeah, you just got to get your cleats in the ground and go play, right? Knoxville Predator catcher for 10. What's going to be more important on defense, finishing our tackles or better coverage in the secondary?
That's a good question.
What do you guys say on that? We'll take it. X, what are you going with?
Let's see. I think for me, I think it's better coverage in the secondary because again, it's like we talked about before. Because all last season we just kept getting beat over the top so many times. So for this season, I know that we got like what I just said earlier. You know, you have your seniors in your secondary unit. So I expect them to perform in the show out. So hopefully we'll see better coverage in the secondary unit.
Yeah, but if you're finishing tackles in the backfield, that coverage doesn't matter.
Interesting. Yeah.
Coach?
Both are good answers, but knees to nuts, ass down, head up, wrap up, hat on the ball. I'll take tackling, man. I'm a linebacker coach, so that's what I take.
Well, let me ask you this because I'm an idiot. I get the drill with the little wheel, the tackling wheel, right? I understand the wrapping up. I get the drill. Makes perfect sense to me. What I don't understand is this new thing that I've never seen before where they're doing tackling drills with a tackling dummy, and it's like they're trying to wrap up and spin. They wrap up and spin. I've never seen that before until this year. Like this year they're doing – have you seen this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Why? What is the point – of the spinning once you like wrap up? I don't get it. I've never seen it before until this year.
It just, you don't, because when you tackle a donut, you know, like a large tire or a donut, you know, you can spin, but when you actually hit somebody, right, and you have that moment, like you've probably all heard the expression standing somebody up. When you hit them, right, you stand them up and you're the low man. But if you put a little torque into that into your at the end of your hit, that force is going to bring them down rather than stand them up. Is the reason you want to put a little torque into the very, very end of it. I saw someone put alligator roll, kind of similar. Like you want to pop them up and pull them down. Nothing drives me crazier though and there was a lot of it in that first weekend, is when people tack or hit somebody and have great form, but they don't bring their arms with them. They don't wrap up, right? How many tackles do you see miss because a kid wants to lay you out or, you know, or shoulder stiff you and look at you on the ground and be like, yeah, I'm a bad MF or whatever. No, dude, wrap him up and get back to the huddle and go play the next play, period.
Oh, trust me, we saw a lot of that during the Butch Jones era. Trust me.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't tackle, right? You guys were talking about, I know I wasn't in there that morning. But yeah, you got to tackle. It's why we see not as good tackling anymore. And, you know, I don't know if everyone's hip to this, but, you know, in the lower leagues in Pop Warner in high school, you're only allowed to tackle a certain amount of you know, minutes in a certain practice a day. And does that keep you a little safer? Well, maybe we could debate that because I think there's an argument for the more you hit, the more acclimated you get to it. But what it certainly does is it makes you a worse tackler when you don't tackle more. So the fact that they weren't tackling at all, had I heard that personally before the season, I would have been like, yeah, we're going to suck. Let me bet against us.
And they did suck, and you should have bet against us.
What would be your record, Coach?
Yeah, if we didn't tackle, or
if you didn't tackle.
Yeah, if even at this team, I'd be like, yeah, we're giving up 50 a game. It's gonna be crappy, you know. I'm gonna be screaming at the screen and throwing crap and yelling at people on the Talkin VAWLS show after the thing. I guarantee you they're hitting though. They're hitting, or kids wouldn't be getting banged up.
Oh yeah, they're hit. This coaching staff hits. It's limited, but they hit.
Yeah. I get all the, you know, safety in youth football and all of that, but I do think that a negative result of that is you do see a lot of guys coming up through the ranks who don't know how to tackle. And granted, you know, playing Optimus football and Little League football and then up a little bit into high school, I remember one of the things drilled into us was you got to see what you're hitting. And so many of these guys want to, you know, launch towards the ball and head down, and they're not seeing it. And one, that's a big opportunity to whiff, but also it recipe for hurting yourself or who you're tackling. So I think that's a big byproduct of trying to make the game a little bit safer. I don't know the answers to correcting that, but
I don't know it either. Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of it is people see these big hits and they, you know, they want to be the guy that lays the next big hit and gets on the highlight reel and all that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's like receivers, you know, dancing around, showboating after, you know, a big catch. I mean, you've played football for how long? You know, celebrate a little bit, but then get back to the huddle. You know, you've done it before. Let's do it again.
Yep, absolutely.
Breaking news. By the way, Darby, you need a better football coach. I prefer. I get it. See what you're hitting. I prefer knees to nuts. That's way better advice. That's way better advice. Breaking news. We are one subscriber away. One subscriber away from 22,000. Man, we were like 30 or 40 away just this morning alone. Like, you know, it's football season when you just, and I've seen a whole lot of down trending. You know, it's football season and now the numbers are trending up. I love it. I love this time of year, but let's do a little plugs and chills. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, help us out. Hit the thumbs up just down below the video. It's quick, free, easy, helps the channel. Also, all the members of the channel, if you don't have a power T beside your name in the chat, what are you doing with your life? I know you got $1 to spare. I know you got $1. If you like the channel, the content, the live streams, the community, whatever it is you like about this channel, hit that join button down below. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows. Look, there's 350 people watching live right now. Some of the post-game shows have had 1,000, 1,500 people. I cannot highlight everybody's comment on the bottom of the screen. I try to highlight member comments. So there's some perks and benefits to it. Shout out to Joe Brown. Just gifted a free membership that went to Bradley Rhodes, but you can also get one. You can hit the join button down below. We would appreciate it. Also, we've got some merchandise around here. I don't think is anybody wearing Talkin VAWLS merch tonight? I don't think so. You can go pick up your merch, bonfire.com/. Well, I'm wearing a comic book shirt.
I'm about to say I got the beanie on.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There's some merch.
We got something.
Talkin VAWLS beanie. But you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got these brand new shirts. You got to get in where you fit in. You got to get ready for Georgia week. You got to get ready for Florida week. You can wear a shirt that says FUGA. It says FUGA. You want to rep that shirt? It's there. Go pick it up. Have it ready to go. We got Gator Hater shirts, a clean TriStar shirt, Buck Fama. If you're not an offensive jerk, I'm not calling anybody in the chat a jerk, but some of y'all are pretty offensive. If you want a more clean shirt, we've also got beat Bama, beat Georgia, beat Florida, or you can let Kentucky fans know that we're their daddy. We also have Kentucky's daddy shirt. But go check it out, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All the links are in the description below. We appreciate the support. If not, that's cool. Smash the thumbs up because that's quick, free, and easy. Let's hit a couple of super chats. Shot by Andrew for 2. Thank you for that. Just an orange emoji. We got a shirt that's going to have that orange emoji, and it's going to say cult member. It is going to say cult member because this is a cult. We have created a cult here. You guys are part of that cult. We appreciate it. Thomas Maynard for 5 had a membership, but I forgot to update it when I got a new debit card. Sorry. It's all good, brother. Don't forget to keep those things updated. They expire. They disappear. You got to keep them up to date. Orbity. I'm sure there's some gimmick to pronounce this name. Regardless, we appreciate you joining the channel at Talkin VAWLS Gold. That's a generous contribution every single month. We appreciate that. All right. We're an hour and 3 minutes into this thing, and I've convinced these clowns that we're going to stay live. We're going to keep on rolling. Anybody wants to leave, you guys can leave at any time. I got no problem with that, but I'm going to roll on. We got a job to do. The chat has been very generous. They've dropped some big-time super chats, so we are going to continue, I hope, to entertain. Do we entertain? Are we entertaining? Are you not entertained? I hope you guys are entertained. I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with us on a Wednesday night. Don't forget myself and Coach Jay going to be live Friday morning, 10 a.m., breaking things.
I'm getting up early. Be there.
It's good. Hey, I could have made you so that's what? That's 7 o'clock your time?
Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I tried to put you against the wall and say, hey, let's go at 6 o'clock your time. Boogie, that's a little early. Jeff Buggett for 5. Thank you for the super chat. I say less practicing tackling leads to bad form and technique, which I believe could possibly lead to more injuries. I agree with that 100%. It's like MMA guys that don't spar. I don't really understand it. All right, this is Josh Heupel's press conference going into game week. We're going to take a listen to it, and we'll pause, provide commentary over top of it. You guys know the deal. You got something you want to say? Let me know, and we will pause it and
Hey, great to
talk
see
about
everybody. Officially game week. Great to have everybody here. I just want to start by expressing my condolences, our football program's condolences to Coach Credich and his entire family. The tragic loss of their son, Ben. I cannot imagine what their family is going through. Ben, somebody that, here locally impacted a lot of people and stood for the things that were right. So I wanted to express my condolences to them. Also, Coach Fulmer, continue to wish him a speedy and well recovery. Texted back and forth with him, seems to be doing really well and in good spirits. So look forward to having him get healthy and get back around.
What's wrong with Coach Fulmer?
He had, was it a heart issue? He had surgery, but he's bounced back. This was, I think he's doing fine. Let me hit this super chat. Nate Pruitt for $10. Appreciate that, brother. Came in late. Here's my cover charge. GBO. I've still got 302 people that I need to ban. I've just not had time to do it yet. But thank you, Nate, for the super chat. We appreciate it. But it's time for a celebration. 22,001 subscribers are now a part of this channel. We appreciate you guys, and we'll play this.
Rocky Top!
22,000. Like it blows my mind. Yesterday was our 7-year anniversary. Started this show 7 years ago. Myself, Snake, and JP sat down. We dialed up a Skype call and we recorded the audio. And it was just something we did for fun, screwing around, just dudes talking football. And that's still the foundation of this channel, but it has grown. It has adapted. It went from audio once a week to audio to live streams and now it's videos and just insanity, man. It is insane how much this thing has grown. I'm grateful for every person that's been a part of it, from Snake to JP to the indie kid to I'll never forget asking Dauber to come on. He's like, bro, that is not my thing. And I'm like, dude, you love Tennessee as much as anybody. Like, give it a whirl. I remember Dauber when he first started was like, I don't know that I'm cut out for this, man. I probably I'm like, dude, just stick it out. And here we are all these years later. Met the X Factor, met Coach J, met young Gabe, met so many people, man. So many people. What a hell of a ride it's been. Here's to 7 more years and more growth. 50,000, 100,000. The sky's the limit. Big Orange Mountain for 5. Door fee. Late to the party. Just got off work out west. GBO. Appreciate that super chat, brother. Matt Begley for 5. Congrats on 22K. Well deserved. Dauber, does it ever blow your mind? Look, when you joined this channel, I think we had 3,000, and then you came in right when things kind of started to change the style, what we were doing. But we have the biggest platform. Just a couple of East Tennessee dudes. We got the biggest platform for all of Tennessee football. There's something to be said for that, man.
It's been something to see it grow and just become what it is. Glad to be a part of it.
Same here, like I said, because I think I started watching you guys. I think you was at 9,000, 10,000 subscribers. I think back in year of 21 or 2020. But either how though, like I said, I'm very grateful and blessed to be here. Like I said, to share this platform with you guys, to be a part of this community. And like I said, I also like you guys in the chat. Like so you guys keep us entertained. Well, hopefully we keep you entertained as well. And like I said, just very blessed and thankful to be here, man, and to talk, like I said, Tennessee football, Tennessee athletics.
Yeah. Football is family, right, guys? I always say it. That's what drove a little Southern California a kid to fall in love with the fan base and the school and everything they do. So, started listening during the dark times, no doubt about it. But happy to be here and blessed to be a part of this community, no doubt. Awesome stuff.
Chat's going on. We need a JP rant, dude. JP, he is so busy with work. Every Wednesday, I'm like, hey JP, you jumping on tonight? Man, I can't do it, bro. You can't make it. I'm like, it's all good, brother. I'll hit you up next Wednesday and harass you all over again. Don't you worry. He's also got a nephew that plays. He's got a nephew that plays Pee Wee football on Thursdays. So he tries to work overtime on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday so that he can get out of work in time on Thursday to go see his nephew play.
I remember you shooting texts out to Pander. Hey, we put out a video. Go like it. Go watch it,
dude.
And that was text. Cool. That was, hey man, can you go watch this for me?
Do you
No,
know
no,
what
no.
what I used to do on Twitter is I would follow Tennessee fans, and then if they followed us back, I would DM them and say, thanks for the follow. Please go check out our live stream tonight at 7.
Yeah.
I used to beg, man, but it's a grind. It is a hustle. Anything you can do, marketing, anything you can do to get eyes on the product, it's a hustle. It ain't easy to be on YouTube, man. It's tough. But man, I'm blessed, grateful. I love this community. It's I say that word all the time, and that word is kind of corny at times, but on the flip side, that's what we are. We're a community. We're a cult. We are all like-minded psychopaths. Enough of this goofy nonsense. Stop being sentimental and good Lord have mercy. We got 22,002. We're off to the races to 23,000. Let's hear what Josh Heupel said. Let's talk football. Let's stop patting each other on the back and talk about how great we are. And let's hear what Coach Heupel has to say about Virginia.
The best 5 words in Tennessee is it's football time in Tennessee. And
there you go.
Officially game week. Looking forward to the opportunity of going and playing with this program. It's awesome that we get an opportunity to start inside of Mid-State. Huge fan following there. But you look at the opportunity we have. We've got a great opponent. We're SEC Nation's going to be there, national TV audience as we kick off the 23 season. So looking forward to being there, having an opportunity to recruit on Friday night as well, and continue to showcase ourselves in front of the entire country. But
I want to see George McIntyre
have an
on
opportunity
Friday
to
night.
host us there. So looking forward to that. Ready to kick off. Time to go play. I'm here, and I'm going to say a bunch of words, but it's time to go play. So with that, I'll open it up.
Love it.
That's how I feel. We're going to say a bunch of words. I'm ready for football.
Words and things.
Josh, especially in an opener on offense, is execution the top priority, or is tempo the top priority, or what's the relationship between those two?
Yes.
On the offensive side of the ball, at the end of the day, execution is paramount. It doesn't matter how fast you play if you're not executing. But I think in openers, all 3 phases of the game, you have a game plan. Everybody's had 7+ months of an opportunity to subtly change who they are. Personnel is going to be different. You have to do a really good job of adjusting. You play your core principles in all 3 phases. Players got to be able to communicate, adjust. In-game adjustments are paramount in this too. So as you go to the sidelines, absolutely critical that our staff and players do a great job.
How do you feel about your return game going into the season?
Excited about the guys that we have there. But also, we've talked a lot about the depth of our program, how it's continued to grow over the 3 years here. That shows up in special teams a bunch too. So we got guys that are ready to compete, play as hard as they can on those plays, but play with great fundamentals and technique. Feel like that has an opportunity to help us in our cover units, but certainly the return game as well.
You think we're seeing D. Williams? I know he's going to return punts. You think I was looking at the depth chart because I didn't even pay attention. They've got D. Williams or Cam Seldon penciled in to return kickoffs. Think we see D? You think we see D on punts and kickoffs this year? Who returned kicks last year? Seemed like it wasn't D. Williams.
On the depth chart, was it D and Cam Seldon on kick return?
Yes.
Is that okay? That's a dangerous duo to kick to right there.
Yeah, I think on punt return, yes, I think it was D. Williams. I think we saw a lot of them because I remember was it one game that I said that he had a punt return, but he scored it for a touchdown. I think it was one game. I can't remember which game.
Yeah, he had a house call last year. I don't remember which game it was either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
Last Monday, we talked about the awkwardness of the week before the week, I guess, but you talked about how you still needed to approach it in a proper way. Do you feel like you all took advantage of that week before the week last week?
Yeah, I do. I feel like our guys were, dialed in, did the things that we were asking them to. We moved ahead with a little bit of preparation for this coming Saturday, but we still did a lot of really good work throughout the course of it too. And every player inside of your program has got to continue to grow. Good teams do that throughout the course of the season. So, for us, that week before the week is as important as any other week.
Good on good work. Hitting.
Looking at Virginia, new quarterback wasn't there last year, but when you evaluate his film, what does he bring to the table and the rest of that skill
here we go again.
on offense?
Yeah, been a really good decision maker, throwing for a bunch of yards.
At Monmouth.
Has good pocket awareness.
At
Him
Monmouth.
being in week one, year one within their system.
This kid's gonna light us
what are
up,
the
and
new
we're gonna
things
look like
they do to
idiots.
try to put him in a position. We'll find out on game day. But a guy that's played
Gonna be a Heisman
really
front
good
runner
football at a
after
high
week
level
one.
and been a good
Yeah.
decision maker. So for
350
us, we got to
through
do a
the
great
air.
job of handling the run game. We got to apply pressure. That can be with our pressure package, but it can also just be with our front four. We got to make him uncomfortable inside the pocket.
What stands out about Virginia's defense?
Well, they do have some new transfers, in particular on the back end. They have experience in their front seven. They've done a good job against the run. We got to do a really good job of being dialed into, our protections, our run schemes, make sure we're targeting the right people. The question was brought up earlier, do our assignments, handle our assignments at a really high level, be really good in our communication, and go execute.
That's one thing to say about Virginia. Yes, they're not very good. They're not a good football team. Yes, they struggled last year, but they have a lot of roster turnover, and they added a lot of people through the portal. So, it's kind of an unknown. That's the beautiful thing about the transfer portal. You can be awful, add some guys through the portal that are experienced and veterans, and you can turn things around. So, look, I'm not sitting here worried about Virginia, but they may be better than some of us think, myself included.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then you think about it, the portal definitely turned us around. I mean, it's like what we said from the very beginning. We could have been a 4 or 5 year whole team rebuild. But God has blessed us with a man called Josh Heupel as our football coach, and him coming into the play of the portal, and look what he's done during this whole off season. And I mean, that's a bigger blessing within itself. So, because I know, last season everybody had they were kind of 50-50 about the whole portal and kids transferring in and out and stuff. But no, it is definitely a godsend for us. It was
100%.
definitely a godsend.
Portal and NIL both were a godsend for us.
Yes.
Yeah, and you never know how all your portal kids are going to gel with the kids you got there is the other part of it, So I think that's what makes so cool what Heupel did with the culture that he built is he's kind of wrote the book on how to properly bring in kids into a healthy culture and have them gel well with your existing talent. No doubt about it.
Go ahead,
That's what I was going to say, Coach Jay. It's not just you're bringing in kids in the portal to fill your roster up. You're bringing in kids that not only what we've seen with Heupel and his staff, bringing in guys that contribute, but you're bringing in guys that fit. I think Coach Heupel, they've been selective with the guys they brought in the transfer portal, and that's been a huge deal. We've had some guys that didn't pan out, but that batting average with guys that you're getting in the portal is a lot higher than the guys you're striking out on.
Look at the depth chart that came out, right? I know that Heupel's had some success through the transfer portal, but the video I put out a couple of days ago talking about 5 guys that could make or break Tennessee in 2023, and I think 4 of the 5 were from the portal. And I'm like, holy smokes. But then you go look at the depth chart. Let me run down the depth chart, guys that are penciled in as a possible starter through the portal. McCallum Castles, he's an or with Jacob Warren. John Campbell Jr., he's an or with Gerald Mincy. Andrej Carrick at left guard. Let's see here. Let me roll on down. Brew McCoy, that's a transfer portal guy. Dante Thornton, a transfer portal guy. Joe Milton, a transfer portal guy. Let's see. Let's move over to defense. Omar Norman Lott, transfer portal guy. Keenan Peely, transfer portal guy. Gabe Judy Lolly, transfer portal guy. And then you've also got Wesley Walker penciled in at safety and Andre Turrentine right behind him, who's not penciled in as a co-starter, but he's a guy that I think could push. I think he could ultimately end up winning a starting job. So when you look at guys that are penciled in to start for this football team, it's freaking loaded with transfer portal guys. I think this coaching staff has had a lot of success, and it goes back to the same reason that I think they have success in recruiting, and that's player evaluation, whether that's guys in the portal or guys that are playing high school football. I think Gage Ginther is a guy that everybody's on board with early in his high school senior season. That kid's going to be a 4-star before it's all said and done. Arian Carter, a guy that Coach Jay's been talking about for months. 3-star running back. All of a sudden, Nick Saban's beating down doors trying to get that kid on campus to be a linebacker. Tennessee was all over him early. We've seen it over and over and over. Nathan Laycock. I can rattle off so many players. Shout out Jack Joseph for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate that support, brother. Let's roll on. Let's hear some more from Josh Heupel. Heading into week 1, after we get through this, we're going to go into our predictions for Saturday's game. So stay tuned for that.
When we last talked about the wide receiver unit, you mentioned there being a lot of flexibility when it comes to rotating those guys. There's clearly experience there, but maybe who's maybe showing up to be that 1-2 kind of guy for you?
Well, we've had a lot of guys that have played really good football for us. Ramel, played the last 8-9 weeks of the season for us. On the right side, Brew McCoy's played at a really high level. Squirrel White, when given the opportunity last year, played extremely well. Dante's continued to come on, and then 2 young guys that I've talked about, Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. We feel really confident about the growth that they've had inside the program, their ability to go play at a high level.
2021.
That's 2 names that we didn't even throw out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to roll with it. You got to give me your opinion. You got to talk about it. You can't.
I mean, that's Nimrod was one that had a lot of hype coming into the program, and I think we heard a little bit of buzz, but for Coach to call them out in the presser, rattling off all those other wide receivers. They're doing some good things on the practice field. So, it goes back to the depth that we've talked about, and the depth across the board that this program is gaining. And that's another one of these factors that really just it gets me more confidence in this coaching staff. You're bringing in not just guys, but the right guys, and guys that understand the program and understand, what their position is, even if they're not, linebacker 1, they're not starting at corner. They know they're 1 snap away from being the next guy up, and they're all putting in the work. So they push each other to be better. And we talked about that with the secondary. You've got a lot of those young guys that are right on the heels of these juniors and seniors and guys that have been there. And I know it's not one of those things that you like guys to feel the heat and be looking over their shoulder, but these guys don't get it done. There's other people chomping at the bit to get in there and do it.
I do. I want them looking over their shoulder every single day in practice. I want Jabari Small looking back going, holy smokes, if I don't compete, Jalen Wright's taking my job. And then I want Jalen Wright to say, well, I better compete because Dylan Sampson is going to take my job. And that's the thing. Like somebody, it's been a couple of months ago, asked me if I was worried about the depth at wide receiver. Absolutely not. There is so much talent at wide receiver. And Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, of course, a couple of redshirt freshmen. Those are young dudes. And then you've got Nathan Laycock coming in as a freshman. And then you look at the class of 24, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley. Those dudes are every single week, putting up highlights. Like I love Braylon's dad, man. Like I had the opportunity to have a phone conversation with him, and I love their relationship, man. I love Braylon and Brian. Great dudes, talking to both of them. And Brian posting clips of Braylon, and he's like, touchdown. And it's like it was like a hitch route, and Braylon caught it and spun out. He's like, keep your feet. That's a touchdown. And I'm like, man, Pops knew 40 yards out what was going to happen. He knows, man. And Braylon Staley, don't sleep on that kid. I know everybody's talking about Mike Matthews because he's a 5-star. Braylon Staley's something special. That's some young guns coming in. And again, you look at the wide receiver room. I hope Dante Thornton's a one and done. I hope he comes in, balls out, and goes to the NFL. Squirrel White's a freaking sophomore. Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, redshirt freshman, Nathan Laycock, Mike Matthews. Sky's the limit, boys. This wide receiver room is loaded. I'm not worried in the least.
That's the thing, Boogie. We're excited about all these guys that are just on campus this year. We're talking about the guys that are in the boat for next year. But back to what was the kid Simpson? We jumped on when he did his live committed to Alabama, and it was disappointing we didn't get him. But I made the comment, you know, we didn't get him. So what? This coaching staff wasn't thinking that's the be all and end all. They're thinking they're already looking, you know, the next season's the next class's quarterback, the class beyond that. It's big picture stuff right here. It's not just the here and now, you know, and that's the thing. I mean, you're not just right here, right now. You're looking beyond that.
Yep.
Rocket Top Tom for $2 says, other than Joe, pick a ball to build a team around.
It's a fun question.
Take it, X.
So I said we're talking about just one player, right? Like one quarterback.
Not quarterback or like not Nico also?
He just says
okay, just not Joe.
I'm taking Nico. Coach.
Okay. I'm about to say, give me.
Nico.
Okay, we're talking about quarterbacks, man. If he was back again for another year, give me Hendo Cinco. Give me Hendon Hooker.
X is living in reverse.
Any Vol, like any Vol ever. Oh,
wait,
well.
pick a Vol. What?
You know,
any Vol?
You know, any Vol.
If I see pick a Vol,
there's a couple good answers, right? You know, but
well,
no.
because when he
like
said
current
like
team, current team.
Let's go current team. Let's go
current team. Okay, go ahead. Current team then. X current team.
Oh, current team. Current team. Man.
Other than Joe.
Current team other than Joe. This is tough. When you put it like that, Coach. I don't know. I guess, like I said, you just got to give me Butch Jones.
Give me Butch Jones.
What is happening? X went from Hendon Hooker to, hey, no, we're going to go this team, and that says Butch Jones. What is happening?
I was gonna say his roster. What?
No, X is out of here. X is off the show. X has been banned from the channel. What is happening right now?
I don't understand the question.
Transfer you to Monmouth there.
I know.
We are so off the rails right now.
Boogie's taking castles,
a player
right?
on this roster in 2023.
Okay.
Isaac says Butch Jones for Heisman.
Okay, if I say a player on this thing, I say give me. All right, give me Squirrel White. Give me Squirrel White.
Squirrel's good.
Lord have mercy. I ripped my headphones out. Y'all made me fall out.
I mean, Nico or Arian would be kind of the obvious answers to me.
Yeah, I'm going Nico, 100% Nico. The only answer is Nico.
Yeah.
Who do you think, Dauber? Derek Dooley?
Yeah. Orange pants.
Oh, man. You know, I think Cam Seldon, if he can continue the growth that we've seen just in the small sample size of time he's been in Knoxville, he could be something special.
I say, look, the chat's firing on me right now. I think it's all good.
Yeah, you're the target tonight, X. You just made yourself.
It's a good day to stop sniffing glue, huh?
Yeah.
That's a meme. Butch Jones for Heisman. Holy smokes. Elijah Allen, the kid's in the house for 5. Where is Shamrod Umarov? I would imagine he's in Knoxville if I was guessing. That's probably where he's at. No, I think
I've heard he's doing good. He's just
young. He's young.
Yeah, he's young. He's a lineman. He's young.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited about the future of this offensive line. This class of 24. Woo! Again, spoiler alert for tomorrow's Locked On Vols over there with Eric Kane. Man, the conversation we had about the offensive line in this recruiting class, and you know how we were talking about how this coaching staff has really kind of missed at the offensive tackle position for the most part, and how Bennett Warren was a blessing in disguise, and now you got a shot to go get Jordan Seaton. Holy smokes. Jordan Seaton, Bennett Warren, and then the guys they have on the inside, that is a legitimate haul. And then you got Gage Ginther, who is severely underrated. This coaching staff, Glenn Ellerby, has done a great job in the class of 24. Shannon DeCannon for $20. I'm loving the energy around Big Orange Country. It's been a while. GBO and drink moonshine. Well, I like that. That's a great $20 super chat to tell us to drink some moonshine. Thank you, Shannon DeCannon, being very generous tonight. Appreciate that support. All right, let's get back. Holy smokes. Talk about.
I'm just reading the chat.
Hex has been drinking moonshine for the last 3 hours, apparently. Butch Jones for Heisman. Let's hear more from Josh Heupel. Let's get through this interview, and then we'll make our predictions for the Tennessee-Virginia game coming up on Saturday.
Your starting quarterback that year now, 2 years later, he has that opportunity again, stuck with the program, worked hard to get back to this chance to see him have this opportunity again. What does that mean to you?
Excited for him. He's a guy that, did it the right way when it didn't go his way early on. He looked at himself. Here's how I need to continue to improve to get better. Trusted his coaches, the program, believed in the guys around him too inside of the locker room. Has put himself in a position to play at a really high level because of the work ethic that he's had inside of our program. The back half of that first season, he's become very mature in who he is, what he's about, how he's going to work, how he's going to impact his teammates, the leadership role. It's not just, going into the Orange Bowl. He's been that guy for a long time inside of our program. So someone that's continued to grow, has great understanding of defensive alignments, which allows us to communicate and adjust really quickly with him. I think that's really important, but has complete command of what we're doing offensively too.
The kid with another $2 super chat says X is the champion of life.
Like I said, I've told you before, I'm blessed
you're
to be a
going
part of
down
this
now.
platform. I'm blessed and highly favored to be here.
For
Thank
tonight,
you, guys.
we'll see what happens next week after that debacle. Oh gosh, let's hear more.
Coach, just offensive line wise, any update on Cooper and what's it look like there?
Yeah, Cooper, we'll find out here as the week goes on.
I bet
his
we will.
availability in this one.
2 hours before.
We've had
there you go.
2.5, 3 weeks of different guys having the opportunity to play on the interior if he's not able to go, and feel really confident in those guys.
Where are you in the secondary? I know coaches talked about rotating a lot back there. How challenging or how comfortable do you feel rotating? How deep do you think you can go there? And even with the offensive line, how deep can you go there?
Yeah, the second level or second and third levels, I should say, we got nicked up a little bit in the middle part of training camp. I know you guys saw a little bit of that. Those guys are all back and healthy. They've been with us all of last week as well. Gotten really good work. That gives us the ability to rotate on the back end. We have a plan. We'll see how it unfolds on game day, but expect to see a lot of people rotating in. That's true at the corner, safety, and the nickel spot as we go there. The second part of your question. Yeah, well, I do feel good about, the development of our young guys. Some of the guys that have had experience, plan on rotating some of those guys at the guards and tackle position on this first one as well.
Josh, how important was it for you for John Campbell to come in and maybe give you guys some clarity at those tackle spots?
Well, absolutely. Competition to earn a starting spot and play at a championship level. His maturity, the amount of football that he's played, all certainly help us. And he's had a great camp. We got great trust in him, and he's played at a really high level.
That dude, if you don't follow John Campbell on Twitter, go follow him. That dude is always working, always grinding.
I guess a little bit.
Did you guys? I know I talked about this in the earlier stream, but they all blend together. I don't know where I said it or when I said it. Did you guys see Jacob Warren's presser when he talked about, John Campbell's car was in the shop? He said I had to take him home. So in the car, he just looked over and he's like, "Why Tennessee? Like, why did you choose to come here?" And John Campbell was like, "Man, it's that buzzword, the culture." He's like, "You guys are playing at an elite level, but you're having fun doing it. And when I came on campus, you can feel that energy. And who wouldn't want to come here?" And I think that what a huge sales pitch that is for Tennessee, for John Campbell to say that. I loved Jacob Warren saying that. Also, go to utsports.com. Jacob Warren wrote a letter to the Tennessee fan base going into 2023. I wanted to read it tonight live on air, but it's too long. Maybe that's something that me and Coach will do on Friday. We'll see. But I love those comments from John Campbell about why he chose Tennessee. All right, let's hear more from Josh Heupel.
This will be Virginia's first game back since the tragic shootings. Just, is there anything that this team will do to either show respect or just kind of what do you think it might mean for that team to get back onto the field and just knowing the power of sports?
Yeah, obviously a horrific tragedy that took place there on their campus. They've had a long time to, try to grow through that. And you also recognize, what happened. And so there'll be a moment of silence before kickoff. And then we'll wear a decal of the three individuals.
X, you called that one.
Back of the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Called something right for the night.
Yeah. There.
Easy week 1. All right.
Yeah. There you go. He's like, all right. Outta
Like,
here.
I'm out of here, brother. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Quick little,
Boom,
like
outta
9 minutes. Sign me up for that every week,
Yeah,
brother.
he
Wait till
was
Florida
excited.
week.
Hey,
It'll be a
hey,
little different.
we nailed it at the top of the show with the names, but it just took us 35 minutes to do a 9-minute presser. So
They always do. That's why I thought like we would do Virginia for 30 minutes, presser for 30 minutes, predictions out the door. We're an hour and 35 minutes into this thing, but we still got 320
love it.
people watching.
It's been a good show though.
What it's all about.
called that.
Thank
Dude,
you.
I
You
remember,
nailed that.
I remember when I was like, guys, we got to do an hour and get out the door. Now I'm like, I'll stay live all night. My only concern is the three of you being like, I wish Boogie would shut up and let me go to bed. I'm like,
Nah,
boys,
brother,
I
we
will
here-
stay live all night long.
Yeah, I'm here for the long. Like I say, here for the long haul. Here for the
All
long
right.
haul.
We got to do predictions, but I just want to remind you guys, don't forget Friday morning, 10 a.m., myself, Coach Jay, the final live stream leading up to game day. Of course, we'll do the tailgate show with you guys on Saturday as well. But that's going to be a fun one. That's a new show that we're adding this year. I'm looking forward to it. We'll probably have some guests at time. Maybe I can reach out to Ben McKee or different people. But tomorrow, or what is today? Friday, it's going to be me and Coach Jay. We're going to break this thing down one last time. It's going to be a whole lot of hype and BS. It's going to be, hey, we're going to get you through your Friday. We broke down Virginia tonight. How much more can we say? But it's going to be a fun show. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's time for predictions. I'm going to go ahead and put Butch Jones on the spot. X, give me a little something. I don't need a 17-minute breakdown. I don't need a 2-second prediction, but give me a little something. What are you looking for? What's the score prediction for the game on Saturday?
Can I give a Butch Jones explanation of how we're going to get our points?
Yes.
Nah, I'm just playing. All right. I'm gonna just make this just plain and simple. Like I said, I'm gonna say Tennessee 43, just because, like you said earlier, Boogie, with the unknown with Virginia, I don't see them putting up much of a fight, but I'll give them a little leeway. I'll say 25. Vols 43, Virginia 25.
Coach, what do you got?
49-9.
Man, nobody giving any analytical thoughts, just throwing scores out.
You say get to the point.
I'll never remember any of this. I'll never remember any of this.
I'm writing.
I'll
I'm
lie
writing it
about
down.
it later.
Okay,
writing
Garber's
it down.
writing it down. All right,
Oh,
good.
okay, man.
Because I always forget anyway. All right, I'm good. Look, here's the deal, man. Virginia sucks. They're a terrible football team. I think Tennessee's going to come out and roll them, but Tennessee is going to give up some points. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Joe Milton throws his first interception at Tennessee, short field. Virginia's going to score some points, but for the most part, I think Tennessee's going to dominate. I think we're going to see a whole lot of Nico, maybe late in the third quarter. We're going to see a lot of guys, and I think we're going to see a lot of guys early. They're going to rotate in the first, second quarter. We're going to see some of these young players. I'm excited to see the identity of this football team, but the bottom line is this is a glorified scrimmage. It's a warm-up game. Tennessee rolls. I'm going 52-10. That's been my score, and what's crazy is I've seen a lot of people leaving comments, and they're like all over my prediction. I've been on 52-10 for a while, and a lot of people kind of right there with me. Jason, 52-24. Rocky Top Tom going right on. Look, I told that's the
good.
Lot of people saying 52-10. Dauber, what do you got?
I'm kind of right there with you. I got 49-13. I think your first team offense, first team defense, they're going to have some guys that have career days, put up some good numbers, but I think you're going to see a lot of young guys get some valuable college reps. Some of those guys first time seeing the speed of the game at the college level. I think that's going to be good. I do think, like I said, Tennessee runs away in a track meet, but they're going to call the dogs off and get some young guys in and get them some experience. You hope you come away with some things to work on going to week 2, but no injuries is a big thing you want to leave Nashville with. So that's it.
Let's see. We got a super chat from Jeff Puckett for 5. Thank you for the super chat. To X for some bricks so he can build brick by brick. We're just going to call him Butch X. Butch X. Is that X's name? John Lillard becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, John. Talkin VAWLS Elite. That's very generous, brother. That's $10 a month. We appreciate that support. Guys, if you're not a member, consider it. If you like the channel, you like the content, support this thing. Man, I'm grateful. The first half of this year, I mean, it's almost September, has been amazing. I've not missed a beat, skipped a beat. I don't know the phrases, but I quit working for the man to do this thing full time, and you guys have blessed me and my family. But it is nerve-wracking to bet on yourself and say, I'm all in on the Talkin VAWLS network. So if you've thought about supporting, please consider hitting that join button. We would greatly appreciate it. Go pick up merch. But more than anything, man, if you guys know Tennessee fans, and I know that you do, let them know. Word of mouth. Spread the word. Let people know about the Talkin VAWLS network. We're up to 22,005 subscribers, and that blows my mind, and it is because of you guys. I'm forever grateful that I get to jump on here and talk Tennessee football every single day. I'm also grateful for Dauber, for Coach Jay, for the X Factor. You guys make this show what it is. It's always a pleasure to jump on and talk some ball with you guys. We'll be back Friday morning. I'll probably be dropping a video tomorrow, maybe around noon. I'll let this live stream soak, let people that missed it come back and catch the replay. I'll drop a video tomorrow. We'll be live Friday morning, 10 a.m., Saturday, an hour before kickoff, and then also immediately following the game. Don't forget, Sunday morning, you get a chance to sleep on it. Put some thoughts together. We'll do the day after video bright and early on Sunday, and then a fan call-in show Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys get to come on whether you're full of piss and vinegar or you're ready to celebrate a win over Virginia. You have a voice here. You will always have a voice here because this is your platform, and this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That we call